What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Man Bites Film. As always, I'm your host, Brandon. Join me as the regular crew, my lovely cousin, Lewis.
Hey, guys.
William.
Hello, everybody.
You sound super low. Is it just me? I don't know.
Me?
Yeah. No, oh, that's better. Shout.
Yeah.
Shout.
Shout.
As always, guys. What?
No, whenever anybody, oh my god, I am not Englishing well today. It's going to be a fun episode. Whenever somebody's like, shout, Tears for Fears comes into mind.
Oh, actually, you know what's funny? I thought the same thing when I said that.
I think Twist and Shout from...
Are you fucking kidding me? I'm sorry. I love the Beatles, and I love that song. But when you say shout, you don't think of Tears for Fears? Come on, man. Really?
No, I honestly think that song first. I think of, Ferris Bueller's Day Off at the end, the parade sequence.
If you said... Okay, but I don't get that, because like, if you said Twist and Shout... What?
No, I was saying, funny he should mention Ferris Bueller today.
Right?
Oh
I actually got to meet Matthew Broderick this morning.
Oh, you did? Where you did a what's that called? What is it called when you do that? When you
No, I didn't stage door.
Stalk?
I actually went there. I didn't stalk either.
You weren't sneaking? Sorry,
I went to a live recording of a podcast to which they were promoting his new upcoming movie, To Dust, which actually looks to be a very good movie. And obviously he was there, so I got to meet him, and he's a really nice guy. He's very kept to himself. You can see he's never been one to be in the spotlight, and after meeting him today, I can see why. He's just not that kind of person that likes the spotlight. So he does his movies and does what he needs to do. But very nice guy, very professional, very.
That's pretty awesome.
He's one of those, like, if it wasn't for the white hair, it looked like he still looks like he could do Ferris Bueller with no problem.
What's the Ralph Macchio, right? The one from the
Kid?
Yes, he looks like the spitting image of himself. It's so creepy.
Yeah, he does.
It's so
he doesn't age.
Yeah, he really doesn't.
Freaking
It's so creepy. But as always, guys, if you're joining us, we are a weekly movie podcast where we talk about movie news, we review a movie that we all watch, and we have our individual reviews at the end.
Would you say we pontificate about the movies?
He hit the quota, ladies and gentlemen.
I would not say you do that.
He has hit the quota for today's episode. Pontificate one time.
It doesn't count if he forces it. That was forced.
That was not forced.
Shenanigans, I say. Shenanigans.
So as I was saying, the first segment of our show, movie news, that is my cousin's job, so take it away.
Yes. All right. So there's a lot of Stephen King stuff coming out this year, and one of the first announcements is that CBS is actually they ordered a series of The Stand. They are remaking The Stand as a miniseries, which I'm kind of excited about because it's actually getting a really big budget, which I'm kind of happy about that. And I'm looking forward to seeing. As of right now, they haven't announced anything further other than the fact that they are making it. CBS is doing it. It's going to be on their streaming platform, the All Access. And it's going to be interesting. I want to see what they do with it. What are your thoughts on the miniseries, the one from the 90s, which it's a classic in my opinion?
The Stand?
Yeah.
I love the series. I don't. So I'm a sucker for like post-apocalyptic stuff, and I really like The Stand at the beginning, and then when it kind of goes into the whole like spoilers, battle between like devil and God.
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this anymore. I really don't.
Oh, I loved it from beginning to end. I read the book when I was probably like 11 or 12, and God,
you're fucking weird, dude. Like, can I say that? You're my family, and you're fucking weird. What 11-year-old's like, I'm gonna read a 1,200-page book about what?
I mean, I can't fault him for that. I think I was like 13 or 14 when I read War and Peace.
Nice.
You're fucking weird too. What's wrong with you people?
There we go. I will stand with you, Lewis.
What? Like, seriously, it's like, hey, Dad, give me... Because I'm pretty sure it's because of your dad, right?
Oh, yeah. They had all the Stephen King novels, which were
like,
awesome.
Hey,
I mean,
Dad,
there's worse books that you can read when you're that age. Like, you could be reading, I don't know, The Hobbit.
Or Harry Potter.
Woo, baby. No, it's just like, I don't know, as an 11-year-old, I wouldn't have been like, damn, I want to read that 1,100-page book. Like, I'd be like, man, that's too long. Fuck that.
Bro, do you remember the covers of Stephen King novels? How creepy they looked and how, like, I was like, oh my god, yes.
Dude, have you ever seen the cover for the first print of The Stand?
Yes.
It is the funniest thing to me. It's like the devil and God like fucking sword fighting each other. I've said the F word like 5 times. I apologize. They're like sword fighting and it looks super cheesy. It came on, what was it, the 70s?
It was 70s, yeah.
Yeah, 70s.
I remember the cover, the one that had the arm, the like reptilian arm, and coming out of the storm drain, and that got me hooked on that book. I was like, I gotta read this. And then the fact that
it?
Huh?
Are you sure that's not it? Like the cover for it? Since
that is the cover for it.
Oh, but wait, weren't we talking about The Stand?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then I brought up it.
Oh, okay. I was so lost there for a second. I was like, are we talking about The Stand? What? Okay.
No. I'm talking about the cover for it. It was really cool, and I remember reading that because my mom told me that it was one of the few books that she read, and it actually creeped her out when she read it. And I was probably around the same age. I was like 11 or something like that when I read it. It was before Andrew.
This is why you're so screwed up in the head. Like, what parent is like, read a Stephen King novel?
Oh, they didn't know I read it. I just took the book and started reading it.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. Okay, continue.
I read Dante's Inferno when I was young too.
Yes,
but that's
the whole comedy.
You have to also keep in mind that in the Italian culture, reading books like Dante's Inferno, the Divine Comedy, like books like that, which here are like, oh, these are like literature book for young adults or for adults and everything. When you grow up in Italy, it's reading the Divine Comedy is kind of a rite of passage, like reading something like The Hobbit. Here, it's like a must read for anybody that has any kind of class or higher class education. So yeah. I mean, like, I can't really say for Stephen King novels, but there are some which I would say, yeah, you this is something that if you are going to be reading different genres of books, should be on your bucket list. Like, not every Stephen King novel, but there's some which I can see why.
Yeah, those are the 2 big ones that I read when I was young. The rest I read when I was older. But moving on to the next Stephen King, Dr. Sleep officially got its release date of November 8th, 2019, and actually got a cast release as well. Ian McGregor is going to be Danny Torrance.
Coming out this year?
Yeah, it's coming out this year.
What?
And it's directed by Mike Flanagan, which he is the director of the most recent miniseries, the what do you call it? The Haunting of Hill House.
What?
So
that's weird. Like, that it's coming out this year and there's like not a single.
They've
trailer.
been keeping it quiet. It's Mike Flanagan. He does that every film.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
And I mean, the whole cast list is put up already. It's Carl Lumbly is playing Dick Halloran. Alex Esui is playing Wendy Torrance. Kylie Curran is playing Abra Stone, and Bruce Greenwood is playing Dr. John.
Yeah, are we gonna get like a little like flashback or a little nod to Jack just being frozen in the
They
maze?
are actually not going with the Kubrick.
I know,
Shining.
but it'd be funny if they did. I know. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, they're completely they're not making it non-canon. They're just they're ignoring the what do you call it, the miniseries and the Kubrick movie, and they're going just strictly on the book.
Okay.
So
Gotcha.
they're going with that. And then they also announced that they are making a remake of The Witches, and it's going to be Anne Hathaway, and that's coming out October 16th, 2020.
Yeah, but The Witches is not Stephen King.
It's not Stephen King.
No, it's Roald Dahl.
I know.
Oh, okay. I thought we were still talking about Stephen King.
No. That was the last story of Stephen King that I had.
So my opinion or my thought is, can we not redo The Stand as a miniseries, and can we actually do The Dark Tower as a miniseries as it should be, so that we can get a decent Dark Tower show?
They won't do it anymore because of how
movie?
how much it bombed.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, there are movies that should not be split in 3 ways, which are split 3 ways and dragged on for God knows what reasons. And then there are movies like The Dark Tower, which should totally be in at least
A
2
miniseries,
parts,
yeah.
if not 3. And they're like, we're just gonna shove it all into one movie. The moment that they announced Dark Tower is a standalone one movie, I'm like, it's gonna tank. I haven't even watched it. I have not bothered to watch it because there's no
Why are you
point.
going to go through that disappointment?
I didn't watch it because the movie just looked bad.
I'm going to eventually get to it. It's on Amazon right now, and I'm like, I keep looking at it, and I'm like, I should watch this.
Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm not a huge Dark Tower fan, not because I didn't enjoy it. I've only ever read the first book. It's just I never like kept reading them. But from what I remembered, I liked the first book, and that movie just looked really bad. It did not look good.
I agree. So the last bit of movie news that I wanted to put up is What We Do in the Shadows is being made into a miniseries, or into a series rather, and it's being streamlined by Fox, which is going to be interesting. I can't wait to see that.
Oh, can I add some stuff to movie news?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, by the way, I'm hearing an echo. Is that just me?
Just you.
I'm not moving. I'm not doing anything.
No, it's not me. When I talk loudly, I'm hearing like a slight echo of myself. That's really weird. I don't know. Maybe it's the program. Whatever. Disney, the Disney CEO Bob Iger has said that they will continue making R-rated Marvel films after they acquire Fox, which is nice.
Nice.
A lot of people were like, "Oh, dear God, are they not going to continue making movies like Deadpool or Logan, stuff like that?" And he was like, "No, there's a market for this, and we will continue to make R-rated Marvel films," which is cool.
Because Disney's a family company unless they find a way to make millions off of not doing so, and then they sell their soul and be like, rated R movies? Sure. Why the fuck not?
And this was funny. I read it. I just saw the headline for this. This is from IGN, and it says that the ABC boss wants a Lost reboot, but there's not one in production yet.
God, no. Please don't. No. Don't touch that. I don't care how it ended. I enjoyed the series as it was, and everybody says that
I felt
the
like
ending
Lost was incredible, and then it just lost itself like, haha, funny.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah, no pun intended.
Moving on.
Like halfway through, I feel like it lost its way. Like it just wasn't as good. It got too crazy, but in the beginning when it was like there was mystery and you meet Desmond and the others and stuff like that, that was super cool. I always really liked that part of Lost.
I loved the ending. A lot of people did not like it. I liked it. There's no other way to end it that people would be happy with. So I'm glad that they ended it the way that they did. It's the only way to end it. Everybody would have found a way to complain. There's no way to end it and satisfy the fans.
You right, Boo, you right. And the last thing I wanted to bring up, which
sorry,
yeah.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
No, I'll let you finish because this may go off on a completely different tangent. So I'll
okay.
keep it on.
So this is not movie related, but I read this and I thought it was super, super cool, and I wanted to bring it up. Are any of you guys, or have any of you two played Halo, the Xbox game?
I've never played story mode, but I've dabbled in multiplayer with a friend that had it.
Okay, Lewis, have you ever played it? I think you played it with John, right? When you used to live next to him.
Yeah, I used to play it all the time. Yeah.
So, there's this thing called Halo Outpost Discovery, and it is headed to 5 cities in the United States. And one of them is Orlando, the first one to be exact, actually. And basically, it is a hands-on experience where you're going to be able to... It's a 300,000 square foot area that you can basically attend panels, meet the creators, special guests, learn how the Halo universe is made.
So it's like Halo Con.
Yeah, and they're basically you can like I don't know about drive, but you can get into like a replica of a Warthog, which is the Jeeps that they drive.
Nice. That's pretty awesome.
You could play laser tag, like a Halo themed laser tag. Maybe they have like cool things that you can wear, like armor or something, so you could look like a Spartan.
That's worth it just in itself, right there.
And one thing else, I also read they have AR. So AR, for anyone that doesn't know, is like augmented reality.
Ooh.
And you could like put goggles on and like shoot at like Covenant, which are the aliens, the bad guys. So yeah, I thought it was super cool, and basically it's coming to Orlando, and it's also coming to Philly, Chicago, Houston, and Anaheim. And then I'm assuming if it does well, they'll eventually branch out and go to more cities eventually, or maybe across the world.
Do we have dates on those?
Yeah, actually, so since you're in Orlando, Orlando's July 5th through the 7th, Philly is July 19th through the 21st, Chicago is August 2nd through the 3rd, Houston is August 16th through the 18th, and Anaheim is August 30th to September 1st.
Well, I guess we're not going to get a lot of video game players down in SuperCon this year, because it's the same time as SuperCon.
Maybe.
And a lot of people are not going to be going to either Halo or SuperCon, one of the two, because of the stupid things.
Yeah, so I haven't played Halo like recently, but I used to really like it back in the day when like the first 3 came out, and I don't know, I just read it and I was like, that sounds like a really cool experience. Like if they do it well.
How many are there?
There's Halo 1 through 4, Halo Reach, Halo ODST. Sorry, no, what I'm saying, Halo 1 through 6 at this point.
Coño,
5.
Are you
5.
serious?
Sorry, 5. 6 is coming out soon. And then
What?
ODST and Halo Reach. Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know they made that many. I only played the first 2.
Yeah, it's the franchise has been around since 2001, I think it is, on the Xbox, the OG Xbox, the big black box.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember you had to hook up the LAN things, like the actual like Ethernet cables to each other.
Yeah, so yeah, I just read it and I thought it was cool, and you never know, maybe there's some people listening in that are, big Halo fans and they live somewhere near those 5 cities. So yeah. But yeah, that's it for movie news. Anything else that you guys want to bring up? No?
No?
Oh?
Not that I can think of that I'm like, announcing or anything, so no.
Okay, awesome. What the oh my god. You can't send this when we're recording, dude. You know that, right?
Huh?
My cousin, my lovely cousin.
Why? What do you do?
He's just sending photos, and they're super inappropriate. Bad. By the way, are you there, Lewis?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh my god, Jesus. All right. People are like listening are like, what's going on? All right, guys. So we're gonna take a quick break, and we're gonna come at you with live. I gotta hit the quota live for our main review of the show, which is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
Yeah.
Alright guys, welcome back for the main segment of our show, the main review, and that is Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull. I'm so excited for this.
Oh, so am I.
William hates this movie. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be real good. So for anybody listening, shameless plug, my cousin and I have a show just us two, called Candlelit Blowjobs, and him and I decided to talk about and review the original trilogy of Indiana Jones. And we decided not to review Kingdom of the Crystal Skull because we wanted to hear William's thoughts about it because he hates the movie. And also, we're really bad friends, and we just want to make him suffer.
Yes, we do.
So, shameless plug. If you don't listen to Candlelit Blowjobs, shame on you. You should go listen to that right now. Well, after you finish listening to this episode, but yes. So, William, tell me what you think about this movie, buddy. Tell me. Come on.
It is worse than Lord of the Rings.
Oh, come on.
Fuck off, dude. Why?
I didn't say it was better. I said it was worse.
Why? What is so bad about this movie? I don't understand. It's definitely the worst of the four.
It really is.
I don't understand why people say it's bad, though. It's not a bad movie.
3 things that I have an issue with.
Okay.
And again, this may not be the common consensus, but this is just my opinion as to why I believe
it's wrong. I disagree. Your opinion is invalidated. Oh. No, go ahead.
Screw your opinion.
Lewis, when I want a comeback, I'll wipe it out of the back of your mouth.
Huh?
God.
Nothing.
Oh my God.
Your cousin got it.
Well, what the hell was that? Was somebody getting a call? That was weird.
Eh?
I don't know, dude. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
no.
Go ahead, Will. Formulate your thoughts.
So,
I know you hate this movie.
Up until now, all 3 movies have been based on archaeology or archaeological based movies about ancient history or mythology from Earth. Right? You have
Crystal skulls are ancient and archaeological.
We have the Lost Ark, which the Covenant, which we have religions based on.
Yeah.
We have the Hindu-based one in
the what is it? The stones. God damn it!
Oh my God, the hell's it called?
Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
Temple of Doom.
It's Temple of Doom, but I forgot the name of the actual stones. The little
Yeah, and then in the third one, we have again going back to religion, but we have the search for the cup of Christ.
Yes.
At no point was there aliens. Like the whole fact that it's a sci-fi movie. Like the other one is an adventure movie. The other one is an adventure movie based on.
So is this one.
How is it sci-fi? Just because it has aliens?
Dude, the aliens show up at
in the
last
5 minutes.
5 minutes of the movie.
And then the aliens show up. It's like, no. That's like
saying the what call it, the Ark of the Covenant didn't show up.
Yeah,
with the
Ark
Spirit.
I'm sorry. They opened the Ark. So you're saying, wait, that is stupid. The aliens show up, but I'm sorry. You're willing to think that it's okay that they open up a box and people's heads explode? What? And
it's not that.
And then the people take out the heart with the stones. I mean,
but that one's based on like voodoo. That one's like you can base it off and be like, well, it's like the voodoo religion where you can make people do things with dolls and whatnot, and
this is based on ancient aliens.
Dude, the crystal skulls exist. Those are actually a thing. The crystal skulls is actually a thing. Those exist.
Yeah, it is.
And then the spaceship takes off. Like, it just seemed far-fetched. But that's not even like.
I don't know, man.
The CGI also. I mean, the whole. I lost it at Shia LaBeouf swinging with the monkeys.
I don't care.
I agree with that part. And the CGI,
that part
I didn't enjoy.
So horrible. This was supposed to be this was the last entry, and the CGI in the first movie and special effects, and not even CGI because they didn't really have CGI back then. There's special effects in the first movie which are so much better than some of the special effects that are in this movie, and it's like, what the hell? Like seriously, like the swinging of the monkeys. I was like, nope,
Yeah, I didn't enjoy that.
Well,
At the end of the day, it's like we talked about on our episode, Lewis. It's an adventure movie. It's what Hispanics or Cubans, like to call them paquete. It's fucking bullshit. It's not real. So why can't a man swing on fucking vines? Who cares? Let him swing on vines. It's a really over-the-top adventure film. I don't know, man.
It goes back to the same thing that Indiana Jones gets on Raiders. He gets on the U-boat and then goes underwater for how many 100 miles, and how the hell did he survive underwater?
Well, I mean, how the hell did he survive in a fridge during a nuclear blast?
It's lead lined.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's in every movie. He plays this like crazy role, and
I think it's because
in Temple, it's the same thing. When he flies out of the airplane, it's on a life raft. It's like
it's
no,
inflating life
not
raft,
counting like the whole exploding heads or that. I think that it's because up until now, I mean, obviously we know it's all made up, but up until now, this could have been a real, this could really happen.
It could still be real.
We could find the Covenant.
We could still find the Crystal Skull.
So we can find the Crystal Skull, but think about this. Ever since our camera phones and our cameras have gotten a lot better than grainy little crap that we had in the 90s, why is it that UFO sightings all of a sudden have decreased so damn much? Now, let me go on record saying I believe in extraterrestrials. I believe there's more to life than us out there. I am not discrediting that UFOs are not real. I truly believe that they are. But that's the whole different thing. So I don't want people thinking, oh, he's the one that's believing them. I do believe in them. But I think it's mostly because I always base Indiana Jones as like the finder of archaeological backgrounds. Like, to me, what killed it was the spaceship. Had the aliens shown up, kind of like the old man in The Last Crusade is there, and, you know, it's maybe the ghosts of the aliens that are there protecting the skull, and then they disappear. All right, fine. I would have been like, that was a good ending. But then, like, the taking off of the spaceship,
and it's like, scene.
And then...
So I'll give you this much. Spielberg has a problem with putting aliens at the end of his movies, like in AI, the movie that he stole from Stanley Kubrick. Sorry, I had to throw that in.
God damn it.
Well, I mean, he put aliens at the end of Close Encounters.
Yeah, but the whole movie was about aliens.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, I don't know. And then I think that this, had they come out afterwards with kind of a passing of the torch to Shia LaBeouf as the next Indiana Jones.
They were trying that.
This was like Harrison's retirement movie or retirement, crusade, if you want to call it that, from Indiana Jones, because he's up there in age. The man's not exactly young. Then I would have been like, okay, it wasn't exactly the best passing of the torch, but there's a new, series of movies with Shia, and he. I wouldn't expect him as to take over after Indiana Jones, but okay, it went nowhere. It went nowhere.
I actually think some of the best scenes is between him and Marion and Mutt.
I agree 100%. That is the best part of the movie.
The bringing back of Marion was genius. I absolutely loved that. I smiled. I applauded. I was like, yes, they brought her back.
She's the best part of the movie. It's the best love interest out of all of them.
Well, he says it in the movie. She's like, you moved on with your life. You probably had plenty of women, and he's like, yeah, but they were never you. Like, Marion is top tier, but whatever. They were definitely gonna pass it off to Shia LaBeouf's character Mutt, but then unfortunately, the fifth Indiana Jones movie went into like development hell, and then Shia LaBeouf kind of lost his mind, and now he's just a crazy son of a bitch. And they were like, yeah, no.
I mean, it also went into development hell because like that whole scene with him hiding in the refrigerator during the testing, a lot of people were like, let me throw my bullshit flag over here, and
bro, I hate that shit. Incredible. It's an adventure film, dude. The man survived in a lead-lined refrigerator. Who
seriously
cares? Do you enjoy? Is it a fun movie to watch? Yes. Who cares then?
It's like watching James Bond and saying, "Oh, dude, that gadget doesn't exist. Get out of here with that."
Yeah, it's bullshit, dude. It's like
it's just fun adventure and just enjoy it for what it is.
It's like if you watch Die Another Day and like you tell me like, oh, it's bullshit that he windsurfed down a tsunami. I know it's bullshit, but it's fun to watch. You know, like
no, it's not. The CGIs are horrible in that one too.
Who cares? It's stupid.
Hey,
just watch it.
Look at it this way. Put it this way. It all goes back to George Lucas being involved in the film. Let's blame it on him. Let's put it on George Lucas.
All right. So, what did you guys think of John Hurt?
Hell yeah, the man does an amazing job in every movie. Come on now.
It hurt my heart that he was part of it.
Oh my god.
Oh look, I'm laughing now.
Let's talk about the writer, David Nope.
David Nope.
That's a nope.
That's sorry. Okay,
yeah.
Well,
so,
today.
Did you know that he was the writer for Jurassic Park, Mission Impossible, the original Spider-Man?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Nope.
Wait. How do you? It's okay. So is it pronounced Nope? It's not, or maybe it is, because his last name is spelled Koepp.
Nope.
Yeah, it's Nope.
I'm done.
Nope.
By the way, Harrison Ford was 64 years old when this movie came out.
And this movie came out when?
Dude.
This movie came out in 2008.
Yeah.
That means the man is 74 years old and getting ready to do his fifth Indiana Jones.
Okay,
that.
They either...
William, you don't even count it. That was a Freudian slip.
Wait, say that again? Oh, wait, came out in 2004?
2008.
Yeah, 2000. So we're in 2019. We just started. He hasn't had a birthday yet. He was how old in that movie?
64.
So he's 74.
Yeah.
Pushing 75. So I was right.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm saying that you didn't even count you Freudian slip there at the beginning, and you're like, oh, the fourth movie that he's gonna make now.
Yeah, because I don't count this movie anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, they're definitely the next one is for sure has to be his final movie, and they're either gonna end the franchise or he needs to like pass it on to somebody.
They need to reattempt a passing of the torch.
Yeah, with somebody else.
Do it to a girl. Oh my god, that would like garner so much following.
Yeah, like what is she, Tomb Raider? She's like Lara Croft, basically.
Oh, dude, that would be pretty awesome if they do a crossover.
That would be actually kind of cool.
No, we are not crossing over Indiana fucking Jones and Lara fucking Croft.
Hey, why not?
No, it's two different worlds. Plus, we already established, if you've seen the Tomb Raider movie, that Lara Croft's father is not Indiana Jones.
He could be a lost cousin or uncle or something.
No.
Hey, I'm like 50 years older than you, but I'm your cousin. That'd be awesome. Speaking of William,
it's reboot land, man. It doesn't need to make sense. They could just make whatever work.
True.
I mean, we're getting 4 more fucking avatars, so yeah, you got me on that one.
I refuse to believe that those movies are ever coming out. But whatever. What did you guys think of Cate Blanchett as the antagonist of the film?
Yes.
As what's her name? Irina. Jesus Christ.
It was my second favorite antagonist in Indiana Jones.
Irina Spalko. Sorry.
Yeah.
Why? Who's your favorite antagonist of the franchise?
The blonde Nazi girl from the third one.
You definitely have a type.
Elsa? Jesus.
Well, no, it's because literally, like this one, like the blonde girl, I did not see coming. I did not see coming that she was a Nazi.
What is it with the innuendos today, man? I can't.
I don't know. They're just popping up right at me. But I did not see coming that she would be a Nazi. And for me, it really made the movie. Whereas this one, I mean, yeah, she makes a badass, but there was really nothing that was like, oh, she's going to stand out. And yeah, no.
I'll say this. You know what now thinking about this movie, the part that I actually found the most ridiculous for some odd reason is the part with the ants.
I knew you were going to say that. I actually enjoyed that.
No, I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying to me that was the most ridiculous part for some odd reason. More ridiculous than the flying saucer, more ridiculous than Mutt swinging on vines. The ants were just crazy.
More ridiculous than the fencing that he does from car to car.
Yeah.
That was actually pretty awesome.
I like that scene, actually. And then he starts covering his nuts because all the plants are hitting him in the balls. I think that the scene with the ants is just... Dude, what ants are those, man? Jesus.
Oh, those actually exist.
Those exist. Those are red ants.
But, dude, that size that they can, like, engulf somebody and kill them like that?
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Go to the Amazon.
My God. Okay. No, I believe you. I'm just saying, like... At like the scene when the big burly like Russian dude falls into the ants and they come into his mouth and stuff. Oh my!
Yeah, that scene is gnarly.
That scene was gnarly. Also like how ridiculous the scene is when Marion, right after the ant scene, when they're on the like hybrid boat car thing.
Yes.
And she drives onto the tree and like just places it on the water, gets off the tree, and then like kind of slingshot like catapulted back at the bad guys on the cliffside as they're climbing down and they just fall. I found that funny.
Yeah, that whole like I enjoy this movie to a certain extent, but I also understand where William is coming from, that it is un paquete and there's a lot of like,
I just don't think it's a bad movie.
You have to really, really stretch your imagination for a lot of the scenes, and I get that. But that's what we do in every single one of the movies.
Yeah,
so
it's like, I don't understand what makes this one so different. Yes, there are aliens in this one, but like, they're all super out there.
That's all part of the creation myth. I mean, what do you think created the Sphinx? What do you think that they've already carbon dated the Sphinx, and they stated that it's earlier than any known civilization out there? Why do we have mythology about Atlantis and all these flying things in the sky? In all ancient mythologies, it's like, come on,
what's that? What's those things that they carved into the ground that you can only see them? They talk about them in this movie that you can only see them from the air.
The Inca lines.
Yes, those things. Like, dude, how do you do that? How do you
exactly?
How the hell does an ancient civilization carve stuff into a ground? So from the naked eye, it looks like just lines on the floor, but if you're looking at it from the sky, like it looks like an animal. It looks like something. Like, that's insane. But yeah, I don't know. I just think that this movie is, yes, it's ridiculous, but when people say it's bad, I'm like, I don't get that. Like, I've seen way worse movies than this. It's definitely the worst Indiana Jones, but I'm not saying it's bad.
I agree.
That's just me personally. It's okay, William. You can think it's bad.
So rating wise, what do you guys give it?
Shit, I wish. Wait, what'd you say?
3.
Damn. Do you remember? Do you remember what you and I gave the movies in Candlelit Blowjobs by any chance?
You gave it one less than I did, and I gave Raiders 10, Temple 9, what do you call it? Last Crusade 8, and then this one was a 7.
Didn't we say the same exact numbers, basically? I'm pretty sure we did.
Did we?
Yeah, I think we said the same exact numbers. If we didn't, or it was very close. Yeah, I would give this like a 7. I don't think it's worse.
I agree.
That's as good as it is. Like, it's not a bad movie.
It's not.
So it's a 7 from us and a 3 from William.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, guys.
Nice.
What?
And I'm being nice.
No, then tell us your actual rating then. What is your actual rating?
No, I mean, I'm being more facetious than anything else.
Okay.
I 3.
Facetious?
Yeah.
Fuck off, man.
That word.
I would call it being a dick.
All right, guys.
You're not
I love you, William.
Stay tuned after this quick break, and we're going to come at you with the final segment of our show, the individual reviews. All right, guys, welcome back for the final segment of our show, the individual reviews, and I'm going to be going first this week. So I want to be reviewing. I saw this movie very recently, 2 or 3 weeks ago. I saw Dragon Ball Super Broly in theaters with my little brother. I'm a huge Dragon Ball Z fan. I've been watching it since the 90s, since it became this phenomenon basically in the United States. And this is the first film that has the Super tagline under it, because all the other films have been either Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z. And it's cool because this is the first time that Broly becomes canon in the Dragon Ball mythos. So Broly has come out in other films, but Broly, this is the first time that he's actually canon, because back in the day, the movies that would come out for Dragon Ball Z weren't canon. So
really,
I
didn't know that.
They weren't. No, they're not canon. This is the first time that Broly is actually canon. And actually, I was going to say something else, but I'm going to actually leave that not unsaid, because it was spoiled in the trailers. But for some people, if you kind of haven't watched it, or if you've been keeping away from spoilers, this is kind of big. I unfortunately got this spoiled for me because of social media, because of the day and age we live in, and I was kind of pissed. But whatever. This is one of the most badass Dragon Ball Z films. It is probably the most plot-heavy Dragon Ball Z anything I've seen in my life. You get way more backstory about the Saiyan race, what happened to them. You get introduced to Frieza as a little boy, and basically King Cold, his father, passing on being the warden of the Saiyans to him, and how the relationship between the Saiyans and Frieza is terrible, and that they definitely enjoyed his father way more. And we get introduced to Broly, and Broly is actually a person now. He's not this asshole that just hates Goku because Goku was crying. Broly is a person, and you feel terribly bad for him because his father actually is an abusive piece of shit. And this movie probably has some of the best animation of anything Dragon Ball Z, because for anyone that doesn't know, and maybe you guys don't know, anime movies tend to have a much larger budget, so they don't animators don't cut corners with the animation, and they go all out. And yeah, there's a couple fight scenes in this movie where, oh man, where Broly, my favorite is when Broly fights Vegeta, just them one-on-one.
Oh.
And it is so good. Oh my god, just the animation is so great. There are a couple times where the animation, unfortunately, I don't particularly like it. There is CGI, so I'm not a fan of it. It's very minimal, but it's definitely noticeable. Like when the CGI starts, you're like, that doesn't look normal, like normal animation. But honestly, this movie was fantastic. I had a grin on the entire time as I was watching it, and it's really cool to get more story in Dragon Ball Z when, unfortunately, and I'm going to flat out say this, Dragon Ball Z has the shittiest plot on the face of this earth, if you really think about it.
Oh, come on.
Dragon Ball Z has the shittiest plot. Now, dude, think about it this way. Bad guy shows up, they train, they beat him, rinse and repeat. There is nothing to Dragon Ball Z. There is barely any... The only character that straight up has character growth is Vegeta. That is basically it.
Which is why I like Vegeta.
Yeah,
the most.
Vegeta's the best character. He's my favorite character too. But this is the most plot heavy anything in Dragon Ball. Like, you get more about the Saiyans. You actually learn how Broly is as a person, and I liked. So the movie, the version that I watched was in English, of course, and it's really cool to see Christopher Sabat and who voices Vegeta, and Sean Shamel who voices Goku, how they've grown up together and how well they do their voices now, and the liberties that they took in the English dub, which is really cool. Like, there's a couple scenes where Vegeta calls him a dumbass, and it's very funny.
Oh yeah, it is. Like, even them in person, I've met both of them in, I think, 2 or 3 conventions now.
Yeah.
And their interactions together are hilarious.
Yeah. So,
to the point where I got an autograph from them,
mm-hmm.
and it was a what do you call it, picture
mm-hmm.
of both of them, and what do you call it? First, I got obviously Vegeta signed, and he was like, "All right, so you gotta get this signed and tell him to actually react to it the way that Goku would."
Oh,
and
like, oh man, come on! Like he just does that little thing. Yeah, that's cool.
And I was like, okay. And then he's like, did he tell you to do that? Did someone tell you to do that? And I was like, yes, he did.
Yeah, so it's really cool to see them grow, and the liberties, of course, that they took, like what I just said, like calling dumbass, like that's probably stuff that they didn't do in the Japanese version and the Japanese dub of the film. But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. If you haven't watched this and you are a Dragon Ball Z fan, please go do yourself a favor and watch this. And I'm very excited to see what the future holds, because right now there's no series going on. Super has been, I wouldn't say canceled, but it's on, like they stopped it for now. Yeah, it's like on a hiatus for now. And I'm really excited for the future and what they're going to do, since Broly is now part of this universe. And yeah, I'm super excited. So yeah, definitely go watch Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's a fantastic movie. Yeah, go ahead, guys.
I definitely do not agree. I mean, I can see your point, but I definitely don't agree about Dragon Ball Z and whatnot. But we can discuss that either off the air or make a whole other episode about it.
Oh, what? That it has no plot? Like that thing?
Because I mean, like, there's so many things that happen in Dragon Ball Z, which then the rest of Dragon Ball is based on, like the beginning of the actual beginning of the Super Saiyans, the you know, I mean, the growth of Super Saiyans. And I disagree that Vegeta is the only one that has character development, because I think Gohan gets a lot. He goes from being a whiny little bitch to, I mean, being Gohan. So
yeah, he also. I love you, Toriyama, for everything that you've done, but fuck you for destroying Gohan, because he makes Gohan into such a pansy at the end of the show, and I don't understand why. I don't understand it. Gohan was such a cool character, and that's, again, for another day. I feel like I say screw you to Toriyama, but I don't think Toriyama did that. I think that Shonen Jump told him to do that, because I felt like he wanted to pass the torch on to Gohan. During the Cell Saga, he wanted Gohan to become the main character of Dragon Ball Z. Yeah, and I think that Shonen Jump was like, no, you cannot do that. So instead of making Gohan super powerful, he's like, okay, I'm just going to screw this character up, and then whatever, we're going to continue on with this. But that's for another day. Again, like William said, we can make this into a whole episode about Dragon Ball Z, which I would love that, because I absolutely adore that show.
Bring it. Dragon Ball Z is my shit. Yes.
But yeah, so Super, yeah, it's a great film. And yeah, stay tuned. Maybe we'll have an episode about Dragon Ball Z sometime in the future. That'd be fun. But yeah.
Yeah. I'm just saying.
So, right? I can't wait for that one either. So now let's go into the phenomenon that has been going on Facebook and all social media now. We've been talking about two amazing documentaries that are going on. One's on Hulu and one is on Netflix. William is going to be tackling the one on Hulu, and I'll be tackling the one on Netflix, just to kind of split it up and get the different points of view. And of course, we're talking about Fyre Festival and the madness that ensued.
Fyre.
Sorry, let me put a break on that for a second. There are two different documentaries about Fyre Festival.
Yes, they are. Yes. And they came out like days apart.
What?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. This is gonna be interesting. So I haven't seen the only one that I thought was out, which is the Netflix one. So this is gonna be interesting. So I don't know anything about this. So
okay, so I'll boilerplate it.
Yeah.
So Fyre Festival was this thing that was started by this guy, what the hell's his name? McFarlane and Ja Rule. And these two crazy people, they decided basically to make this music festival with a bunch of celebrities and basically make it into the sex icon fantasy island type of festival. And they're promising the sky, the limit, and all this stuff, and they're kind of aiming it towards these dumbass millennial rich kids that pretty much they would have to pay like $25,000 for a little cottage on an island, right? And that was the tickets to watch these random bands like Blink-182 and a bunch of other bands that went on a stage for this festival. And basically they got the promise of like, You're gonna be on a random island in the Bahamas. What do you call it? You're gonna be surrounded by these amazing celebrities and these amazing like sex icons and all that stuff, Instagram models and all that, and then they're gonna have incredible music. But this is the first time they ever organize a music festival. So while they're getting all these contributions, they're getting all this stuff. McFarlane is basically known as a con artist. And he grabs his team together and puts his team together and tries to do this festival. And they're organizing it little by little, and things start falling apart. The what do you call it? The festival literally falls apart in their hands while they're trying to create it. And the day comes closer and closer. People are wondering, there's no pictures. People bought their tickets already, $25,000 tickets.
$25,000 tickets?
Yeah.
And that's on the cheaper end ones, too.
Yeah, that's the cheaper end ones.
Because then you could supposedly rent your own villas for like $250,000 for the weekend.
Yeah. So they literally gathered, I think it was like 20 million or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
20-30 million dollars in ticket sales already, and they limited it obviously, but it was like private plane to the island, all this crazy shit that they promised. And little by little, people are asking like, what's going on? What, they haven't posted any pictures. They just showed one reel that kind of gave away the whole thing. It was like a trailer that had a bunch of like these icons from Instagram, these actresses and these what do you call it?
Models.
Yeah, models. And they basically sold the whole thing just based on that. And then nothing else until like the day of. And even then, nothing. When they get to the island, the whole festival is literally like a scam. Nobody knows what's going on. It's completely disorganized. These guys, everything falls apart in their hands. These two documentaries follow the different sides of the story. The Netflix one actually follows this group called, what do you call it? Fuck Jerry. That's the name of the group. But the funny thing is that they were actually the marketing team behind the Fyre Festival. And then Hulu actually gets McFarlane himself and kind of exposes all the bullshit and lies that he says straight out of his mouth, which is pretty hilarious.
Which is like, so if you haven't seen both of them yet, basically Hulu's documentary is based on the interview they have with him. Because, like you said, they're able to actually get McFarlane himself. And, you see him, and they're asking him questions. And obviously they talk about everything that's coming. And they interview not just the people that were involved with the Fyre Festival, but the people in the Bahamas that were helping putting it together, which to this day have not been paid.
Actually, they did. They actually got a Kickstarter that paid the lady that did the craft services. And they actually raised almost, I think it was like $4 million for the lady.
Yeah, but I mean the other ones, like people that owned. There was one guy that owned a company which hired people to build stuff like the stages and everything that they built for Fyre Festival. He basically ran off of the island of the Bahamas because people were hounding him for money, and he hadn't gotten paid. So he's like, I don't have the money. And he's like, one day I just packed all my stuff and got on a boat and left. And that was that. But Hulu basically has McFarlane, and you can see to this day, and this was before he went to jail. He's just started serving his prison sentence in jail. But, which is funny because if I'm not wrong, I think it's actually here in Brooklyn, which is right near where the mall that has Captain America's statue is, that he's being locked up. But you can see how much of a douche this guy is. Like, he does not care. To this day, he does not care. He does not think that he did anything wrong. that he's not a con artist, and he'd make a great politician. He really would.
Yeah, seriously. We're gonna go. I think the best way to tackle this is going into the favorite parts of the documentary that are different from one another.
Like
One of my favorite, huh?
Ja Rule, like in the Hulu one at the end, you literally see him. He has an interview where they all get drunk. Like the entire podcast is like, people just drinking during the podcast. So, people are more laid back and more honest. Yeah. And Ja Rule flat out admits that the entire thing was his idea. And that when he realized it was going south, he pretty much just jumped ship.
Yeah. Which is very true to Ja Rule's style. But I think my favorite part of the Netflix one was Andy King, the event production planner, where he's talking about the fact that he had to go to the Bahamas, customs agent, and McFarlane told him, like, if you have to go and suck this guy's dick to release the water, you go do it. He's saying that if you suck his dick, you'll be able to. They will release the water without any penalty. And the man is this very flamboyant gay guy that looks like what's his name, Steve Martin, and he just kind of like goes, I've never heard that in all the years of doing event planning. It was the most outrageous thing. And his face is just priceless. Like he's never. It's just this shock of like, this guy actually told me to do this, and I went to the custom agent thinking I had to go do this, and I was this close to doing it. That part of the documentary on Netflix makes me chuckle every time I watch it. It's just it's the best part to me. That and the recording of them when they first arrive to the island and they see what their $25,000 bought them, and it's like basically the living quarters that they had from Hurricane Matthew that FEMA brought out. They just reused those for the actual lodging, the $25,000 houses that they were going to pay for. It's ridiculous.
Jesus Christ.
Imagine you show up to this island in the middle of the Bahamas on the busiest day of this particular island because they're doing some regatta thing, and there's no hotels on the island whatsoever because they're completely booked up for this one event that's going on already. And you show up and you go in and you're basically going into a refugee camp. And you pay $25,000.
I'd be pissed.
And the funniest part is that it blew up on Instagram. It was this huge advertisement campaign that they did before. It was like these orange blocks on Instagram and all that stuff. And then the Netflix documentary actually goes into the fact that what brought the whole festival down was one Instagram about the craft services that they promised. They promised like exquisite deluxe cuisine and all that stuff, and then they take a picture of this like literally like cafeteria food sandwich. Ew. And how ugly it looked, and that got more like hits than any other picture on the whole thing. Because the whole thing fell apart after that, and just people didn't go, and oh man, it's just one outrageous event after another. It's so upsetting yet so hilarious, and it's Darwinism at its best.
That's funny. Bro, I'd be so angry. I don't know what I'd do. Well, I was reading up. The guy got arrested, right?
Yeah, he got arrested for what was the charges, William? Do you remember?
He got arrested for wire fraud. That's what brought him down, because he promised these different companies that he was going to wire them money and whatnot, and then never paid them, and that constituted as wire fraud, and that's what took him down.
Huh. Damn,
but the moment the festival finished, they were investigating him already.
Ooh.
And they like the FBI agents were going to people that were involved in the company's houses and all that stuff already.
How is Ja Rule not arrested for this?
Because his name was never officially attached to it.
Yeah.
He was seen more as the front person spokesperson than anything else.
Yeah, he was the face.
Gotcha.
He was the face that people recognized that they put. But yeah, the Netflix documentary, I give it probably, I want to go probably 7 out of 10. And then the Hulu one, I'll probably give it a 6 out of 10. I enjoyed the Netflix one just a little bit more.
I enjoyed the Netflix ones more as well because, I mean, I like the Hulu because you see it from, like they try to make it look like, okay, this is why he didn't see it, is he was doing anything really wrong kind of view, which actually comes across as he's a complete douchebag. But I liked the Netflix one because it's from the point of view of all those people that got scammed and their lives before,
but did they get
during,
scammed?
and after. I mean, he promised them money for work and all these things,
but they're a part of it. On the Hulu one, it kind of exposes the Netflix one for being douchebags as well. That they were kind of complacent with the whole thing and kind of, you know, they went with
I was talking more like, if you want to say even the concert goers, which they thought they were buying into something and they weren't, but also like even what's it called? What did you say the company was called? Fuck Freddy or Freddy Fuck or whatever it was. I can't. Lewis, you were just talking about it.
Fuck Jerry.
Fuck Jerry. Thank you. Even Fuck Jerry's after a while were like, dude, this is not gonna work. Like, we're gonna stop endorsing this. We're gonna stop pushing this. And he kept pushing them. But I'm talking more from like the people that worked at the Bahamas, the people that paid God knows how much money to do this and got duped out of money.
Yeah. You know what though? Like, you know, the people that went, I don't feel bad for them. Who the hell pays $25,000 to go watch Blink-182?
I mean, that is a very good question. I mean,
it's just Darwinism at its best. And honestly, I don't feel bad for them. The people I feel bad for, I agree with you, are the people that worked in the Bahamas and that paid all that, you know, they worked their asses off, and because of some dumbass idiot that organized this event and scamming people, they got screwed over out of work.
And from the start, he was like, he was shooting himself in the foot because he was told from the very beginning. Like, the first place that this was supposed to take place was on an island that, yes, was originally owned by Pablo Escobar.
Yeah.
And he was told, okay, you can do it here. Do not mention Pablo's name at all, ever. Like, act like it doesn't. The first chance he got on video, and like when they made the video, the first thing that pops up on an island formerly owned by Pablo Escobar, and they were like, "Okay, you're out. You gotta find someplace else now."
Literally, the first image.
The first image was exactly what they told him do not do, and that's why this. You know, could it have gone better? Yes. Would it probably still have been a issue like it was? I mean, quite frankly, I think it could have gone worse too, because had it been on that island originally, there was no sewage, there was no electricity. So had anything gone awry, it could have been 10 times even worse, because then people would have been literally stranded on a deserted island. But he, from the start, anything that he was told, he just shat on. And he was like, he believed he was untouchable. He believed that he could literally do anything and everything he wanted and never have to worry about a damn thing. And in the end, it bit him in the ass.
Yeah, pretty much. I think that pretty much sums it up, both of the documentaries in one. So yeah, if you want to watch it, honestly, my opinion is to check out the Netflix one first and then go watch the Hulu one if you really do enjoy it, because you get more you get a different side of the event. But the Netflix one is a must. It's too good. You get that one guy, Alex, the really flamboyant party organizer, which that man's it's definitely the funniest part in my opinion. I just the guy's expressions, and he looks like Steve Martin, which just makes me laugh so hard.
Oh my god, the photo, this is them? Like, this is what they came up to?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Jesus.
So you can imagine. Yeah.
Alright, alright guys, so, let's bring it up, I guess. At this point, it doesn't really matter. So, William, you had an idea for something that you wanted to do for the next episode. So
yes. So around Christmas time, I was given a present by my friend Megan, and because she knows that I love movies and everything, she got me a poster, simple poster. But this poster is a scratch off, and it's called 100 Movies Scratch Off Bucket List. And basically, that's exactly what it is. It's 100 movies on this poster, which whomever put this list together, which I'm not 100% sure who came up with this list, thinks that these are the 100 movies that everybody should watch and that they should be on your bucket list. And starting next episode, we are going to take one movie per episode, do a quick synopsis of the movie, and then just see if we agree or disagree and why this movie should be on a bucket list of movies. And if it shouldn't, what movie in its genre or like it would be a better fit for that movie. Like, for example, real quick, Toy Story is on this list. And we won't get into it now. We'll push it to next episode. But should Toy Story, which is the movie which put Pixar really on the map where Pixar is, be on a bucket list of movies for the, like I guess this is the category of like CGI movies. Yay, nay, why not, why yes. It'll be quick, it'll be fast, and we will see how many of these 100 movies we believe that we've all seen. I made my count. Out of the 100 movies, I've seen 94 of them, so I need to catch up on those 6. But see how many we believe should be on this list, and which ones were maybe omitted and should be on this list. And I think it'll be like a little fun new segment and see how it goes.
Okay. So yeah, this is not.
I'm excited.
This is not replacing the main review or anything like that. This is going to be a little small addition to the show, and yeah, we'll have some fun with that. As always, guys, if you liked our show, you should definitely check out our other stuff. Lewis and I have another show called Candlelit Blowjobs, which doesn't really have a schedule, but every once in a while, him and I get together, and we decide to talk about anything really. The first one was about a TV show. The second one was about the Indiana Jones trilogy. We also have the Doctor Who in Review show, which now that the show's on hiatus, Lewis and Nisha, they get together and they talk about, with other people, right, I assume?
Yes. It's basically a collaboration with Diversely Geek and Man Bites Media. So we do it in conjunction together.
Yes. And also we have Man Bites Retro, which Lewis gets together with some other peeps. He tries to make it different every episode, and they talk about their favorite movie or director or whatnot. Him and I actually have an episode.
That's every Wednesday.
Yeah, every Wednesday. Him and I have an episode coming up on that. And also check out, sorry if I'm forgetting to plug anyone. You'll probably say if I did. But also check out Narcotic Casserole on YouTube, his YouTube show, because he's with us. He does also movie stuff. Am I forgetting anybody? I hope I'm not.
Just if you want to mention, we work in collaboration a lot with Diversely Geek.
Yeah.
So if you want to check out any of their content,
yes,
they're in our website. You could go to our website to see all that content on manbitesfilm.com.
There you go. So yeah, as always, guys, thank you, William. Is he dead?
No, he's dead. I got abducted by the Indiana Jones aliens.
Oh my god!
It burns when her eyes blow up. Sorry.
My heart got ripped from my chest.
Oh my god! I almost choked on myself there. Thank you, Lewis.
Thank you, Brandon.
As always, as Lewis just said, I am Brandon, and we will see you guys on the next episode of Man Bites Film.
Yes.
Yeah.